Hello, hello, hello. And today we're talking about Public Service Broadcasting, their fourth album, Bright Magic. There it is. It's got my grubby fingerprints all over it. It's one of those sleeves, even though it's kind of matte. Looks like I've been, I don't know, eating fish and chips or something. Bad review already, just on the back of that. So yeah, this is their fourth album. They're expanded. I think they're a 4-piece now. It used to be a 3-piece. What can we? So we've done this stuff before. The thing about public service broadcasting is they have to have a concept. There is a concept behind, all of their albums. From Inform, Educate, Entertain, which was, it kind of brought in their EPs into one album. That was based around public information films, snippets taken from those. They acted as the vocal track from those, to The Race for Space from 2015, which was about, it's the title, it's The Race for Space. It was about mankind going up into the heavens and all that good stuff. Very good album. And 2017's Every Valley, which is about mining in Wales. Yeah. And this one, Bright Magic, is about Berlin. Ich bin ein Berliner. Who said that? Who said that? It was Kennedy, wasn't it? Which he actually translated as I'm a hot dog. So, yeah. Apparently Berliner is a hot dog in Berlin. He didn't know. He was doing his best. God blimey, say the wrong thing and they'll shoot you, wouldn't they? Was it too soon? Too soon for the JFK jokes? This is all about Berlin as a cultural centre. For Berlin is the centre of the European experience. We wouldn't have got this album without us voting for Brexit, you know that. It's all my fault. I blame myself for this. I blame myself for all these worthy bands making records like this. It's all my fault. I get what I deserve for being a bad man. Bad man. So yeah, that's the concept. It's about moving to Berlin and making a record. So yes, it does reference Bowie. Because when you say Berlin, you think of Bowie because of Low. And that's it. The average, musical experience, if one talks about Berlin, thinks about that. You might be able to squeeze in U2's Achtung Baby. You might be able to, the Hansa Studios. I think this may have actually been recorded there. I haven't read anything about it. I've not read any interviews because that's how I come to this. That's how I can make these ill-educated assumptions about records, and you can all get angry with me because I'm an ignorant pig. Because it takes the mystique away from the record if I read about this stuff. I tend to read about it afterwards. I've come to this completely fresh. There was one video and there's all these women in leotards on roller skates, but there were no camel toes. What's that all about? Makes you wonder. Was they wearing some sort of camel toe shield? Is that a thing? And that's instead of listening to music, I was wondering why there was a lack of camel toes. Maybe the women of Berlin don't have camel toes. I don't know. You see where my mind goes. I caught that one. It was like, So wasn't that? Yeah. And the last record I did, Every Valley, which is about, like I said, the Welsh mining experience, left me scratching my head. I was like, okay. And again, the concept gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So, like I said, the concept now is a place. It's they could have done about the Norwich Ring Road and the pedestrianisation of the city centre. Kept it in this country. Do a concept album about Catford. It's what we need. It's what we need. So yeah, I mean, so just saying Berlin and that you instantly if you think Berlin, you know where we're going with this. And so yeah, there's lots of synth. It's predominantly it's a synth album. None of the groovy guitar stuff that we've had on the Race for Space. You don't get anything like this. It's very synth orientated, and it's very tonally. You're coming from one place. You've got to like your synthesizers, and your Germanic music before it does reference. I'm sure it references Germanic composers and things like that. Again, I'm not that educated, and I'm too ignorant to care. But I'm sure someone clever in the Guardian's probably worked it all out. But I couldn't be bothered. But you do come away thinking, there's a bit, little bit of Bowie there, a little bit, but also there is this more. It's again, I didn't necessarily think of Berlin when I was listening. I was thinking more of the European experience. So you think of Jar and Vangelis and people like that. It's very Vangelis-y, I thought. When you think of his work on. Again, I feel like I'm talking in cliches when I say like Blade Runner and stuff like that. But it's a reference point we all understand. So I'm listening to this. I'm thinking, yeah. And of course, you have to have breathy female vocals for the pop tune, and some of it's got to be sung in German, because it's Germany, it's in Berlin. Because but Bowie did that with Low, didn't he? He did a lot of Low in German, and so did U2 with Achtung Baby, because the title Achtung. Tension. They did that album in German too, didn't they? Yeah, so if you got to like the Germans, and German as a language, it's not a pretty language. It's not a nice language to hear sung or spoken. That was it. The one thing they didn't do is sample some jackboots marching around. They didn't make any reference to that nice Mr. Hitler. I'm a bit shocked because that's a part of Berlin history, isn't it? Isn't it? They could have worked that in because, they mentioned the war in Form, Educate and Entertain. They did the whole song, an EP called The War Room. They could have done it here. But no, they steered clear. I think it's more meant to be a cultural touchstone of Berlin rather than actual historical. Naughty Darren. Don't mention the war. We'll be all right if we don't mention the war. What did I think? I thought it was better than Every Valley. I mean, it's all right in a kind of. It's very cinematic. I kind of enjoyed that, the expansiveness of it, because, like I said, it did take on parts of it. Did take on a sort of a Vangelis-y kind of movie soundtrack thing, which I thought was cool, and I did kind of float off, and that was nice. But again, where does it go? I didn't really feel that it led me anywhere. It kind of, again, on the B side, it just kind of it kind of faded out. So was it the damp fart ending rather than leading to anything profound or hard hitting? It just kind of faded out. The B side's probably the stronger side because again, it does have the vocals on it and the hits, the pop songs. Again, I'm thinking Pet Shop Boys. Any band with a synthesizer in it is Depeche Mode. I'm sure Depeche Mode's in there as well. You think it conjures images of that. But yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Again, I don't think the concept was strong enough to carry it, and that's the problem. I think that's been the problem. Well, since the Race for Space, again, the Race for Space was such a strong record and such a strong concept, and it worked so bloody well. I, for my sins, I'm comparing these albums to that because it's their own work. I'm not comparing them to anyone else. I'm comparing this to Race for Space, which I just think is perfection. But yeah, no, it is experimental. It's got that going for it. But I'm not, you know me, I'm not a man of the synthesizer. I'm not really I'm not a synthesizer guy. I like my guitars. I don't know if you might have noticed. I'm a bit North guitar kind of fella. Um, and yeah, there is a lack of variety. It does feel very Europop, and again, you got to like the Europop. I like my Europop, novelty songs like was it the Ketchup song and things like that. That's my kind of Europop, And hey Macarena, need more of that. They need more of that. So, but yeah, has there been any German one-hit wonders, Europop novelty songs? Don't think there has. Don't think there has. But I'm sure people will love it and stroke their beards earnestly and go, "What a worthy record and a great celebration of European culture." But for me, it was like, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It might work better live if there's because I think they might be doing something visually with the live thing. I think they're working. They working. I might have mentioned something about working with a visual thing. There might be a visual aspect when they do it live, which might add more to the proceedings. But yeah. I mean, yeah, it was all right. It was all right. It was all right. Nothing jumped out at me. You know. I mean, it wasn't like Every Valley. I give it that. Every Valley was just like I just scratch made. I didn't. It's like concept album about coal. Really? At least it wasn't like their EP White Star Liner, which sank without a trace. That's a joke. That's another joke. But anyway, I know we can do show and tell. Who wants to do show and tell? Children, if you sit on the mat, we'll do some show and tell. I've something to show you that you may be interested in. For this is Bright Magic. Excuse the grubby fingerprints. Trust me, I have not been eating fish and chips. It's one of those covers, isn't it? And as you can see, the lyrics and the titles are in the German. They are very efficient lyrics. Yes. For we are the master race. So I'm sorry. It's just because the Nazis bombed my great aunt, and I've never really forgiven them for it. They bombed my great aunt and her two babies, in the road that I grew up in. I had to walk past it every day on the way to school where she lived, and again the whole row there was a row of terraces, and where the bombs had hit. It was the last bombing run. It was the last bombing run of World War II, shortly before the war ended, and they killed her and her two babies, and I've never forgiven them for it. It's kind of stuck with me. It is. Never forget, never forgive. This is the limited edition vinyl. Apparently, I don't know what you call this. Rusty piss colour. I don't know. Shitty rust. I don't know. It's some sort of rusty coloured shit. I don't know. It's all landfill. Doesn't matter. It's all landfill. When I'm dead, it'll all go up in landfill. Oh, it just says limited edition coloured vinyl. It doesn't say what kind of colour that is. I don't know. You also get a booklet, but I'm special needs. Look, I'll show you the booklet first. Bright Magic, and look, there's pictures and stuff in it, and who did what. Look at that. It's all that kind of 20s modern art that came out of Germany. Fritz Lang, Metropolis. We love that shit. Now that would have been a thing. Why didn't they do that? Now that I could have got behind. So yeah, it's a nice big booklet, so you can fondle that. But I got this. Look, I got this print that's been signed by some of the band. One of them decided he was better than the rest and didn't bother to sign it, because I bought it from the good people at Residence, who actually wrote my name and put a little heart a little kiss on it. I like to think it's a young lady who watches the videos who's got hots for me, but it's probably some bloke with a beard who just does it because he gets the thrill out of writing his signature on the parcels. But you know, a boy's got a dream. Boy's got a dream. Maybe he hasn't. So yeah, this is the new album from Public Service Broadcasting. If you like lots of synthesizers and breathy vocals singing in German that you won't understand, then that's the album for you. It's the album for you. It makes it sound like I didn't like it. It was all right. It was all right. It was better than the other one, but not as good as The Race to Space, which I still think is one of the best concept albums ever. It really is. I really do think it's a great, really works. It really holds together. Whereas this, again, how do you translate a place or the notion of a place into music? You know, that's the thing. That's what they're trying to pull off, and I don't know if it's wholly successful. And again, because I'm ending up thinking about Jean-Michel Jarre and Vangelis, but that's my limit of my European musical experience. And the Macarena. Hey, Macarena. I don't know why I bother. Nobody watches. Nobody watches the video, so I guess I'm just doing it for my own entertainment now. Isn't it really? That's why I'm doing it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm talking about Bright Magic, the fourth album from Public Service Broadcasting. And yeah, it was better than the last one. I'll give it that. Cool. Sod off.